Good afternoon, everybody. Colin here with AppleReviews.com. Excuse the camera not being on the tripod, but I am filming something that the tripod would not have worked out good for. This is the Kendal 898D Plus SMD rework station and soldering station. I do not have the soldering iron gun, whatever you want to call it, hooked up. I guess it's soldering iron technically. I don't have it hooked up right now. It's actually down in the garage. I've only used that once or twice for soldering some capacitors. Worked perfectly fine. Had a bunch of different tips with it, which are also down there with it. But this is what I use the most right here. This is a hot air gun for SMD rework and soldering, which I actually used on this computer, which I have to replace the chip on because it did die again. But you can use the hot air gun to reflow and rework stuff, stuff like that, Xbox repair, computer repair, anything you need hot air for. I've heard some mixed things about this unit. As far as I know, as far as what I've seen, it works perfectly fine. The temperature ranges between 480 Celsius and I think 100. Yeah, between 100 Celsius and 480 degrees Celsius. So the way you set the temperature is when you turn it on, it'll show you with the gun on here. It automatically turns off. There's a little magnetic thing in here, so when it's in there, it will not power the fan or heat on. When you turn it on, you'll get the set temperature and then 3 lines to indicate it's off. Now when you pick it up, you can hear it turn on and see that it goes to 100 degrees, which is the set temperature. When you put it down, it'll turn off right away. If you have it set at a higher temperature, I'm going to heat it up to 200, and then I put it back down, it will turn the heat off, but the fan will continue to run until it drops down to 100 degrees Celsius to cool the heating element down, which will make it last longer. And you can feel there's a pretty good amount of heat coming out. You have your fan control speed. If I'm working on something, I'll sometimes, adjust it as needed. But when heating up or cooling down, I always put it at full power. But that is adjustable. And don't turn this switch off until you see the 3 lines, because just turning off the element, or the element's off, but turning off the element while it's hot can mess it up. And then you can flip it off. Sometimes when you do that, it'll turn back on because it resenses that when you turn the fan off, the heat rises towards the sensors a little bit. But you can go all the way up to 480 degrees Celsius, which, since I needed to heat something up to reflow it, 480 was what I needed, so that's where it's been set. And then this, you can also set the temperature if it was plugged in. That doesn't turn on or off, it just goes to the set temperature right away and stays there. So if you want to turn that off, you do have to just flip the switch down. This mount is just screwed onto the side, down on the side of it. You can put it on either side. Pretty small unit. There's my hand, comparison to that. So you can put this up on a shelf or something. It's got a pretty long cord for the hot air gun and everything. It's been working fine for me. I haven't been able to test the actual temperature that it goes to. But according to this, I have seen some things where it does. This machine is kind of programmed to lie about its temperature, which I'll show you here. I'll let it go all the way up to 480. You can see how it's kind of bouncing around. That little dot indicates the heating element is on. See, when you see it gets to 480, it will kind of blink and flicker. And watch, it's going to jump right to 480 and stay there. See? Jumps right to 480 and stays there. When you put it down, you can actually see it's like 455. Jumps right to 480, goes back right to 480. Put it down, it says it's 470. So it doesn't actually stay at the temperature it says it is, but close enough for what I'm doing and for the price. So that is the Kendal 898D Plus Rework soldering station, rework and soldering station. I never have done this but once, just because, you know, for the power supply and stuff like that, I haven't used both at the same time, but you can. I'm guessing that's not going to hurt it, but I just turn this off. I'm not using it and use this one, or this off, or have it down and off when I'm using the soldering iron. But that is the Kendal 898D Plus. This has been Colin with IROPReviews.com. Have a great day. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.